Well, the Albanese government will reintroduce its signature $10 billion housing bill to Parliament today. It will be unchanged. Joining us live now is the Assistant Treasurer, Stephen Jones. Stephen, good to see you. So can you get the Greens on side?
Oh, look, I hope common sense prevails here, Pete. When you put it like this, 30,000 new homes, a housing crisis, you've got organisations throughout the country who say they've got projects ready to go if this fund gets through. Who could be against it? It just beggars belief that parties who say they're in favour of building more homes are going to try and block this. So let's hope that common sense prevails. We can get the bill through. We can get on with the job of building houses and putting roofs over heads.
Well, the Greens are the sticking point. It's a non-starter for the coalition, so you'll need the Greens. They want a few things, a 2-year rental freeze or even rental caps. They say they're willing to negotiate on that. Are you?
Here's the thing. If the Greens are pushing for a rental freeze or a rental cap, they're in the wrong parliament. They should run for the state parliament that's got the constitutional power to do that. We don't. We've got the power to pass this bill through Parliament and build more homes. If their concern is doing something else or something in addition to that, then they should be addressing that through state parliaments. We've got a deal on the table which everyone supports in the community housing sector and the housing sector. Everyone wants to do it. The Greens say they want to build more houses and they want to help deal with the housing crisis. Well, here's an avenue to do that. And you know, they can raise their issues around rental and rental caps and all the rest of it with state parliaments around the country. Let's deal with what we can do in the federal parliament.
So are you going to? Would you make any concessions at all, whether it's that or whether it's on the billions of dollars worth of the investment demand, $2.5 billion that the Greens says it's willing to come down on?
Can I just make this point, Pete? Not 1 month ago, the Prime Minister allocated an additional $2 million to social housing. Additional $2 billion.
Yeah.
Now, 4 weeks ago, Prime Minister announced an additional $2 billion for social housing. If that won't meet the Greens' demands, God knows what will. We are doing everything we can to put a roof over people's head. Yep. We just ask that reasonable people on the crossbenches in the Senate come to the party.
Okay. So as it stands, the Future Housing Fund, it's take it or leave it.
It's not take it or leave it. We've got a hell of a lot of things we're doing in the housing area.
I'm just talking about this bill, though. I mean, it's basically the message to the Greens: take it or leave it as it is. We're not moving on anything. That's the message.
The bill is locked and loaded. It must pass if we're going to put a roof over 30,000 Australians' heads. We can do that. The sector is calling out for it. Everyone's calling out for it. The Greens have got to get out of the way.
Okay, onto the RBA. Inflation, it's going to remain high until deep into 2025. This is past the next federal election. How concerned are you about that? And does that match up with your figures, Stephen?
Of course, we know that cost of living pressures are hurting households and small businesses. It's why we've got a plan to bring it down. It's why our fiscal policy is working hand in hand with the Reserve Bank's, independent Reserve Bank's monetary policy. Obviously pleased that interest rates are on hold and keen to see the trend, which is a downward trend in inflation over the next 12 months continue. I think that'll be welcomed by everybody. And of course, if we can get inflation down, we can get interest rates down over time.
Okay, Stephen Jones with the latest there from Canberra. Thanks, Stephen. Talk to you soon.